Am I the a-hole for not paying any child support? See, this is one of the ones that right off the bat, I want to say obviously they're the a-hole, but usually these stories surprise me, so let's find out. My ex-girlfriend Claire, 35 female, got pregnant while we were dating. Although she told me she just wanted to be friends, I was ready to be a father. However, she met someone else, Becca, who didn't want me around. So they asked me to cancel my paternal rights. Whoa. Immediately, if somebody asks you to cancel your paternal rights, there's a problem. At the time, I was torn because I wanted to be there for my child. But I also felt that if they didn't want me around, it was best to waive my rights. After fighting for a while, I eventually gave up because it was clear that they did not want me there. Fast forward 13 years later, Claire and Becca are going through some stuff and they want me to start paying child support. However, the court had already ruled that since I waived my paternal rights, I'm not legally obliged to pay anything. Despite this, Claire is calling me a bastard and a deadbeat. She even went as far as to call my family and get them involved. While I understand her frustration, I don't think it's appropriate for her to be involving my family in this matter. So am I the a-hole here? Oh, wow, Claire, really? For her to have the audacity to tell him to waive his paternal rights, and then when stuff gets rough, she wants to ask for some money. Really? That is just... It's people like her that give us women a bad name. She should have let this man be part of her child's life from the beginning. And if you only want him to be involved now that you need money, then there's clearly a problem there. So the number one comment with 36,000 likes got deleted, so I can't find out what it said, which sucks. But the next comment with 11,000 likes says, not the a-hole. They didn't want you to be a dad, so you aren't a dad. They only regret their decision now because they need the money. If you consider helping out financially, you need to insist that you also be allowed to have a relationship with your kid, with no secrets about why you haven't been around. The kid deserves to know that the only reason you weren't around is because of their moms. And I love this comment, it's so true. Like, I would almost consider helping out my child if they needed it, but I'm gonna be in my kid's life, you better believe it, what the hell? So for this one, okay, obviously I have to say that OP isn't really the a-hole, but a little bit. I gotta give OP a few points on the a-hole scale only because I am not gonna let somebody push me out of my kid's life. I would have been fighting to be in my child's life. Are you kidding me? So OP gets a 3 out of 10 for me. And then the moms get a big fat 10 out of 10. I literally can't stand them. Anybody that takes someone's kids away from them sucks. So let me know what you guys think and drop their a-hole rating on a scale of 1 to 10 in the comments. Also, guys, I got another new mode. Oh my gosh, guys. I had to test this one out with some extra resin, as I always do. And this one just came out so cute. I cannot wait to try this again with another color combination. You know, pink is like my favorite color, so of course I had to pour my pink pearls in there, and I think this came out so cute. So let me know in the comments, what color should I use for the next bowl? Okay, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Deuces! Am I wrong for telling a social worker the real reason my sister wants a foster kid? I'm a 28-year-old female and I have a sister, 36 female. For the sake of the story, I'll just call her Jane. Jane is married to Bob and they have 2 kids, a boy and a girl. Now for about 2 years, I did live with my sister and it was miserable. Honestly, the time I stayed there really affected our relationship. She saw me as free labor, money, and babysitting. Even when I managed to get a part-time job, she demanded that I hand over nearly half of my pay or get out. It was hell and she took complete advantage of me. I moved out as soon as I could and we have little contact outside of family gatherings. Now after I moved out, she started complaining about how she has no help with the kids and never gets a break. I babysit sometimes, but I've made it clear that just because I'm off of work does not mean that I want to spend 8 hours with my niece and nephew. Anyway, she started talking about how she wanted to foster a kid. Not a kid, but a teenager. I pressed her for more info on this and she wants to adopt a teenager so that she has a live-in babysitter for her kids. This is her logic. I want a kid around 16 or 17. You know, someone who may have been in the system for a while. They can share a room with my son or sleep in the garage. They can help me with housework, chores, cook, and help me with my business. Also, bonus, they get to babysit the kids so that me and Bob can go out sometimes and have alone time. They'll be so grateful for a home and won't complain. I won't have to pay them anything. And then when they turn 18, I can just sign up for another foster kid. A teenager will be so much easier than a little kid. They'll be grateful just to have a house, food, and siblings. When she told me this, I was horrified. I told her that was a horrible idea, but she didn't listen to me. She went on with it anyway. About a month ago, a social worker showed up to my apartment to ask some questions about my sister. She actually put me down as a reference. I immediately told the social worker why my sister really wanted a foster kid. Then I told her how she treated me when I lived with her. The lady thanked me. Later, my sister called crying, saying that she wouldn't be considered for any adoptions or fosters. Apparently, the social worker told her that they felt that the home wasn't a good fit. She asked if I said anything, and I told her the truth. She went off on me and hung up, and we haven't spoken since. A couple of family members are on her side, saying that a foster kid would be glad to do housework just to have a roof over their head. So am I wrong here? Definitely not. You've told the truth. She definitely does not deserve a foster kid. Am I the a-hole for canceling the entire vacation when I found out that my stepdaughters deliberately hid my daughter's passport to get her to stay home? I've been married to my wife Beth for 5 years. I have a bio daughter named Jessica and she's 18. I also have 2 stepdaughters named Monica and Leah. They're both 25 and 28. Both are single moms and live with us currently. There's been issues about my stepdaughters asking my daughter to babysit their kids. Jessica didn't have a problem with it at first because this is what she does to earn money. But since her stepsisters don't pay her that much, she started refusing to babysit. We ended up working this out by having my wife take care of paying for the babysitting. I planned a family vacation for 3 days and everyone wanted to go. However, both Monica and Leah suggested that Jessica stay home and watch the kids, since Beth doesn't want her grandkids to come. What? The audacity! They said it's because the kids are used to Jessica and hiring another babysitter would cause issues. They also said that Jessica wasn't too fond of our destination, but it was obvious that Jessica wanted to go. They insisted, and Beth even offered to pay her double. There was just a lot of back and forth on this, till I just finally demanded that they stop bringing it up. So we were supposed to go last week, but when everybody had their bags all packed and it was time to go, Jessica found out that she didn't have her passport. We searched her bag and then we went home and searched there. Beth and my stepdaughters kept insisting that we had to go back to the airport or else we would miss our flight. They insisted that Jessica could just stay home with the kids. They even told the new babysitter to go home because she was no longer needed. I refused to go and kept searching for the passport until Monica admitted that she helped Leah hide Jessica's passport to get her to stay home with the kids. I was livid. I tried to get her to tell me where it was, but she said that Leah hid it. Leah refused to show me where it was, so I threatened to cancel the vacation, and that's when they gave it back. At that point, I decided to just cancel the whole vacation, and I literally blew up on them and berated them. They stayed upstairs for a while, and Beth refused to speak to me and said that I punished my stepdaughters for worrying about their kids and wanting them to stay home with someone they knew. I got told I overreacted and ruined the trip for everybody. At this point, I want to kick my stepdaughters out, but I can't because my wife co-owns the house. So am I the a-hole for canceling the trip? Heck no, he's not the a-hole for canceling the trip. Screw those stepsisters and screw their mother. I wouldn't have canceled the entire trip. I honestly would have just canceled their 3 tickets and I would have taken my daughter on the trip myself. Oh my gosh, what catty women. And they're all grown women. If I was the husband, I would be so pissed at Beth and her daughters, and I would honestly be questioning the entire relationship. So for me, I gotta give all 3 of them a 9 out of 10 a-hole rating because for them to have the audacity to hide her passport and then lie about it just to make her stay home and watch their kids, they sound irresponsible, entitled, and downright disrespectful. Obviously, the dad's a-hole rating is a 0 out of 10 as he did nothing wrong. I feel really bad for his daughter because she's getting bullied by grown women and it's just messed up. So you guys let me know in the comments what a-hole rating you would give all of these women on a scale of 1 to 10. Also, I wanted to show you guys my newest creation with this new mold that I got. I'm absolutely obsessed with this mold. And you know I had to use my signature rainbow look because pink, blue, and yellow are like my 3 favorite colors to pair together. So let me know what you guys think about the final results. Make sure you rate this from 1 to 10. And I just want to thank you guys so much for watching and supporting my videos. Like, I am so grateful. It means so much to me. So I cannot wait to see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned. Deuces. Am I the a-hole for sleeping naked on top of the covers to teach my roommate's girlfriend a lesson? So I, 21 guy, live with my childhood best friend, 22 also guy. We've been roommates for 2 years now. Up until last week, things were perfect between us. However, he recently got a new girlfriend, 23 lady, and she honestly seems absolutely great except for one thing. She seemingly has a complete aversion to knocking. She and I have quite a lot in common, and actually I love spending time with her. However, it bugs the hell out of me when she just barges into my room without knocking first. Now, she's never walked in on me doing anything embarrassing. I'm usually just chilling on my bed or studying at my desk. However, on at least 7 separate occasions now, she's done it first thing in the morning to ask if I want coffee. I sleep naked, so every time prior to the last one, I've been under the covers and she hasn't seen anything. I always point out to her that she could have, and she just giggles and says, "But I didn't." When she stayed over last week, in order to make my point, I intentionally slept on top of the covers. Sure enough, she barges in at 7 a.m. and begins to ask if I want coffee and sees my you-know-what. She immediately backed out of the room and didn't speak to me for the rest of the day. My mate later pulled me aside and said that I was bang out of order, accused me of deliberately exposing myself, and pointed out that I had threatened to do it before. But I've never threatened to show her anything. I literally just said, "Okay, but what would happen if I had no covers on and you saw everything?" Now they're trying to tell others that I'm some sick creep who intentionally got naked and laid in wait of her because that's how I got my rocks off. And I guess I'm kind of seeing how it could come off that way, so am I the a-hole for doing this? Okay guys, so I've read this story before, but I've never said my opinion on it, and this one is just so freaking weird. I mean, I think it's weird that the girlfriend just keeps coming into his room without knocking on the door. Like, it seems to me like she wanted to see something. I just know that if I was the boyfriend, I would not be okay with that. I've had so many roommates in my life, and I swear if any of them ever just walked into my room without knocking on the door, I would be pissed. Okay, so the #1 comment on Reddit with 32,000 likes says, "Not the a-hole. She knew it was a risk when she barged in. How is she not the pervert? Also, have you considered getting a lock?" And yeah, I think that's a really good idea, because if somebody's just gonna come walking into my room when I'm there, I can only imagine what they would do when I'm not there. So for this one, I do have to give OP a 3 out of 10 a-hole rating, only because he probably could have gotten a lock to solve the problem without exposing himself. I mean, if it bothered him that much, you would think that he would have just moved out by now. I kind of think that he wanted to show her. But as for the girlfriend that just keeps walking into the room, she gets a 9 out of 10 from me, because that is so disrespectful. And honestly, she seems like a pervert to me. Lastly, her boyfriend gets a 7 out of 10, because how dare he come and get an attitude with his friend for doing that? He really should have had a problem with his girlfriend walking into his friend's room without knocking. So anyways, guys, you have to let me know in the comments what a-hole rating you would give these 3. Also, you have to see my newest mushroom. Okay, so guys, you know I don't work with neutral colors a lot. So for this one, I wanted to try something a little bit different than what I normally do. So I don't use my gold flakes enough, and I thought that the bottom of this came out super cute. The top is not exactly what I was going for, but I still think it has a nice earthy look. But now I'm stuck because I cannot figure out what color to paint the outlines on the lid. So let me know, for one, if you think this is just a complete fail, and then also let me know what colors I should use for the outlines. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, besties. You know I love you guys. Stay kind, stay amazing. Deuces. Am I the a-hole for not letting my sister use the family property for her upcoming wedding? I am 25 male, my sister is 29, and I also have a younger sister, 8. When I was 14, my mom sent me to live with her parents. Her excuse was that they needed me to help out. I believe she just didn't want to have to deal with a growing male teen. My grandparents owned an amazing property in the mountains that has an amazing view. We also have some horses and other critters. They were also quite wealthy as well. They both passed away 4 years ago, about a month apart. They gave me the property because, in their words, I would appreciate it and respect it more. While my mom and sisters got money and other assets overall valued more than the property. In the past 4 years, I turned part of the property into a venue for mainly weddings. My grandparents already knew of this idea and thought it was a good one. We're usually pretty busy and booked about 8 months throughout the year. My sister got engaged about a year and a half ago and said that she wanted to use the property to get married. I said yes and told her to just let me know the date as soon as possible so that I can make sure that it's booked. I never got a date. I followed up several times and kept asking her, and she would just brush me off. 2 weeks ago, I got a wedding invitation stating the property is the location and the date, which is in September of this year. I immediately called her to say that we were booked and that we can't accommodate her. Well, now her, my mom, other family, her partner's family, as well as other flying monkeys have been blowing up on me. They're also calling and writing reviews for my business. I asked them to stop, and then I called my sister, telling her that literally all she had to do was tell me the date so I could block it and I would take care of everything else. She went off on how I'm ruining her day and that it's our family property. How she already sent out the invitations and couldn't go back now. And that I should just tell the other couple to cancel, which they've been on the books for over a year now and I actually like them. But she thinks that family is more important. After the last big blow up, I started communicating strictly through the business, using only our recorded line as well as email. I suggested 3 other dates around the same time, but that's not good enough. According to her, I'm being resentful and an a-hole. Oh my gosh, I've never had an easier time saying definitely not the a-hole. The sister and the whole entire family are the biggest a-holes in this situation. All she had to do was give her brother a heads up on the date for the wedding. That's one problem with a lot of toxic families. They think that family should come above the business. And although that's true in some situations, it is not right to cancel somebody else's reservations just to put your family member there when it was their fault that they didn't have the spot to begin with. The sister gets a 9 out of 10 a-hole rating for me because how entitled do you have to be to behave like this? Like, seriously. And to any members of the family that were leaving bad reviews on the business because of this situation gets a 10 out of 10 a-hole rating. For one, they need to just mind their own business. And for two, that is so messed up that they would drag their own family member's business in this situation. OP did nothing wrong. So I need you guys to let me know in the comments what a-hole rating you would give this family. Also, okay guys, so I wanted to show you one of my kind of resin fails. So for this one, I had some extra resin from one of the projects that I was making. So I really wanted to use this mold again. And I think the lid actually came out really cute. Yeah, there's a couple of chips in it, but that's because the resin was getting so thick, like you have no idea. The problem was the base. Okay, so for the base, I had just a little bit of resin left, so I kind of just swirled that around in there. And then I decided to whip up some clear resin to pour over the base. Now the problem with that is that I should have let the colors cure first and then poured the clear, and I think it would have came out with a cooler effect. But I am still happy with the overall results. I mean, it was just extra resin, so I can't complain. But I need to try this again with a little bit more patience. That's like my word for the week. I need to learn patience. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about my fail. And I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure that you stay kind, stay amazing, and keep on resonating. Peace. Am I the a-hole for asking my fiance to get rid of her cat before we move in together? My fiance got a cat a year before we met. She credits this cat with keeping her alive. Before she met me, she allowed this cat to do whatever it wanted. No boundaries, no rules. So needless to say, this cat walks all over counters, sinks, and does whatever she wants. I historically cannot stand animals. Any animals, wild or domestic. I'm known for this. Who would be proud to be known for this? Okay, let me finish. I initially asked her to get rid of the cat when we first started dating and she agreed. I took it back after I saw how much the cat meant to her, but now I regret that so much. This cat has started intentionally pooping in random places after I get her off of the counters and beds. She hisses at me anytime my fiance isn't around. Her hair is all over. And to be completely honest, my fiance isn't the most responsible cat owner. I have to stay on top of her about keeping the cat clean. She only cleans the litter box out maybe once or twice a week and she dumps it in the kitchen trash can. We're on the cusp of getting our first official place together, and I want this cat gone. I honestly cannot imagine paying to live somewhere with this cat. I want to 100% enjoy whatever living space I have to pay to live in, and that is not happening with this cat. I don't want my fiance to resent me, but this is getting to the point where it's a deal breaker. I refuse to be miserable in my own house. So am I the a-hole for telling my fiance to get rid of her cat? The amount of passionate hate that this guy has for all animals is crazy to me. Like, I get it, some animals might not be your favorites, or, you know, you might not like animals in general, but like, he just hates them. That's crazy. Anyways, about the story. I feel like that is just so crazy that you could get engaged to somebody if you hate their animal that much. Honestly, I think it's weird for both of them because I have no idea why she was okay with initially saying that she would get rid of her cat for him. They should have realized that they probably weren't the best match right off the bat when they had the problem with the cat. But then they decided to get engaged anyways. I swear, people make the weirdest decisions sometimes. For me, this one is really tough because he did tell her right from the beginning how much he hated cats. So she should have kind of figured it out from there. But then the fact that he decided to quote unquote let her keep her cat and regretted that decision later, I mean, he's an asshole. Don't propose to a girl if you can't accept her animals with her. I mean, he stated how much he knew this cat meant to her. So if he really loves her, then he should deal with her cat. That's my opinion. So I can't go too high on the asshole rating only because he did tell her how he felt about the cat from the beginning. So for him, I'm gonna say 7 out of 10. I wanna go higher, I really do, because he seems like an asshole just based off of the story. And I've always known cats to be extremely good judges of character. So maybe there's a reason why that cat doesn't like him. So you guys let me know in the comments what a-hole rating you would give this guy on a scale of 1 to 10. Also guys, here's another one of these jars that I made with my new mold. Guys, this mold, I'm literally obsessed with it. I really can't wait till I have more time to really work with it. But I made a couple of really pretty like galaxy sparkly blue colors to mix into this mold, and it's just so sparkly, so pretty. I really wish I would have put lights in it. As you can see, the end results with the lights just look so pretty. But with or without lights, I just love this sparkly blue color. And it looks adorable with my pink pearls. So guys, let me know in the comments what you think about this jar and give me some ideas of what colors I should use, because I definitely want to work with this jar more, but I'm just so busy right now. So let me know what colors you would like to see. Okay guys, I will see you in the next video. Peace.